I think we're going to be joined by Ollie, who's our second V for Life chef today. Here he is. Yeah, Ollie, hello.
How you doing?
We're good. Yeah, did you enjoy that demo from your colleague there, Alex?
I think I was pretty thorough job there.
Yeah, cool. I think we're just a bit struggling to hear you here, Ollie.
Yeah, there's a bit of a delay going on, but hopefully you can hear me now. Is it all good?
Yeah, that's not too bad. So just tell us quickly what you're going to be doing today, and then I'll leave you to it and let you get on with it.
So I'm going to be concentrating more on the health and nutrition for an individual. So if you're cooking at home for one, I've got some sort of cheat ideas, some quick ideas, ideas for sort of putting in the freezer and fridge for later, and versatile recipes as well.
Brilliant. Okay, well, just to mention, Ollie, as you're part of the V for Life team, just some extended gratitude to all the people behind the organisation, doing some fabulous work, and we should enjoy the demonstration. Thanks very much.
Okay, thanks very much. So like I said, I'm going to be concentrating more on catering for yourself if you're at home. And I'm going to do a bit more plugging of the guides, I'm afraid. So we also do this guide called Take 5, which is excellent if you're catering for yourself again. It's full of simple recipes with just 5 ingredients. That's really good. I'm going to be making one of those today. We've got this Cooking for One guide, exactly what I'm talking about, cooking for one. So it's full of recipes, and it's got some beautiful recipes in here, and sort of smoothies and breakfast ideas as well. And there's also a vegan rescue pack that we have. Again, packed full of recipes and a sort of calendar guide and things like that. And we also have the new nutritional guide, which Alex talked a lot about, where we really show you how you can get all the vitamins and nutrients you need from your diet. But one thing in particular, as we get older, our dietary needs change. And one thing we really need more of is protein. So I'm going to be hopefully showing you how to get more protein in your diet today. I'm going to be making some coronation chicken pasties. I'm also going to be making a sort of cheat puff pastry tart, pizza type thing. And I'm going to make a sort of bean and dill pate, a dip pate thing. So that's going to be full of protein. So the first thing I'm going to do is get on with my pasties. This is like an open pasty. It's not like an enclosed pasty. And what I've done is rolled out my puff pastry. So I'm using this Just Roll stuff. So this is accidentally vegan. I don't think the company set out to create a vegan product, but it is entirely vegan. And it's such a great thing to have in the fridge. Super easy to use. You can buy it pre-rolled. This one is a block which I've rolled out already into it's about 1/2 centimeter thick, my pastry, and I just cut it into a rectangle like this, and then I'm going to cut that in half again. So this will save you loads of time. It's obviously some people don't think all this white flour is a good thing to have in your diet. We're talking about health and nutrition today, but one of the things as we get older, some people struggle with is getting enough calories into their body. So sometimes you need to just eat some of the bad stuff, which people always say you shouldn't eat. So what I've done here is fold over these squares, and then I'm going to make little slits like so. Not right up to the corner because that would chop it off, but like that. And then what I do, I open it up, and I've got a little mix of some oat milk. You could use any plant milk here, and some rapeseed oil as well, or any vegetable oil would do for that. So that's just mixed together, and using a pastry brush, I'm just going to brush the edges of my little parcels. and then I fold the one edge over like so, and then the other edge over like that, and it creates, it's called like a twisted corner pasty or pastry case. You can find videos how to do this online. I think the Just Roll company has their own instructional videos, and I'll just show you again. So little slits about a centimetre or two from the edge, open it up, and then around the edge, lots of oil and milk mixture. Fold that over into the centre like so, and again with the other side, and then just gently press it down, and you've got this little open pasty shell. And then what I'm going to do is just put some fork holes into the middle, and that will help keep it flat, while the rest will hopefully puff up. My oven's on at 220, nice and hot, and then this will go in for around about 10 to 12 minutes. So to get enough protein in our diet as we get older, as a vegan, there's a few options, well, quite a few options. You've got beans and pulses, you've got mock meats and tofu and things like that. I'm going to be using, don't use this very much, but I'm going to be using some mock meat today. So this is a fake chicken, and it's made from soya protein. I think the recipe asks for vegan corn. I couldn't find that in the shop. I think it's in the freezer section, which is made from a mycoprotein derived from fungi. But this is made from a soya derivative, and it's a really good product. This is called What the Cluck, and I hadn't used it until the other day, but I was very impressed with it. So what I do, I get a pan on, nice and hot, and then I'm just going to fry that in the pan for just a couple of minutes, and it's ready. So again, it's a super easy thing to use, super quick. And while that's warming up, I'm going to make the sauce for the coronation chicken pasties. So what this requires is some vegan mayonnaise, so Vegenaise I'm using, which uses rapeseed oil and again soya to make it. It's a really good product, really impressed with it. And it's not too unhealthy, it doesn't have any added sugars or things like that in it. Just coming back to my pan, nice and hot. Get some oil in there, a bit of rapeseed oil, and then in with these chicken pieces, and that'll just, like I say, fry for a couple of minutes. And while that's going, back to my sauce. Vegenaise, some sultanas, about 15 grams of sultanas, and then a teaspoon of curry powder. So this recipe, coronation chicken, was apparently, I was Googling, invented by cordon bleu for the Queen Elizabeth coronation in 1953, I think. And it's super simple and really delicious. So curry powder, and then a bit of turmeric powder, a teaspoon of that as well, and then mix all that together. You can see these pieces have already browned a little bit. Just give it a little mix, and then a dollop of mango chutney as well. So this is going to add a lot of sweetness, and again a lot of calories in there. You've got the mayonnaise, mango chutney, and you've got the soya pieces as well. So good amount of calories. Wait, so these are pretty much ready now. You can see they are nice and browned. Just gonna turn the heat off and let that cool a little bit. So, I did make some of these earlier, and you can see my cases are puffed up nicely. You could make little enclosed pasties as well, I suppose. But these are really good. Nice little open, like a vol au vent or something, I guess. But this coronation chicken sauce, you could also use it in sandwiches, of course, with salads, on jacket potatoes, so it's really versatile. Just keep it in the fridge or just make it fresh. You've seen how quick and easy that is. And then add our chicken pieces. Ideally let it cool a little bit. I'm just going to go straight in there. Mix in all the sauce. It smells really good. Nice sort of accompaniment to Alex's korma, perhaps. And then what we do, into the center of our pasty cases. And then we could finish that. Perhaps a sprinkle of coriander would be really nice, or just a little bit of cherry tomato there. And there we go, look at that. So, this stuff goes a really long way, this just roll. So this is all from the same block, and I've just rolled this out. And I'm going to create a little sort of tart pizza thing. It's from our Take 5 guide. So it only really has 5 recipes. 5 ingredients in it. However, one of the ingredients is a pesto, and I'm just going to make a really quick pesto as well, just to show you how easy it is, and you can use that for other things as well. You can stick it in, sandwiches, and obviously with pasta. So I've rolled out my tart base or pizza base here, and I've just scored the edges, and now I'm going to make the pesto, which is going to go on it. So I've got a bunch of fresh basil there, and I'm going to add some pine nuts to that, so about 50 grams of pine nuts. You can also use walnuts, they're a bit cheaper, and but still really good for you, full of protein, full of healthy fats, vitamin E, that we still need in our diet as we get older. And then I've got some nutritional yeast. So this stuff is so good. It's fortified with B12, which of course we still need as we get older, along with our calcium and our omega-3s and everything. And I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of the nutritional yeast. It also lends a sort of really nice, tangy, cheesy flavour. I'm sure if you're vegan yourself, you will be aware of it, but it's really quite easy to get hold of these days. I didn't have any in my cupboard, which I usually do, so I had to run down to Tesco this morning and grab some. So it really is that kind of ubiquitous. It's you can get it at Tesco's these days. Just add in a good squeeze of lemon juice to that, and then olive oil. So a couple of good glugs of olive oil, and I'm going to add a touch of water as well. You could add more olive oil to this for the liquid aspect, but to make it slightly healthier, just going to add a touch of water, and then we're just going to blitz this up, whiz it up. Touch of sea salt, forgot that to add that earlier. You could add pepper as well. And then just return it to the blender. And that's it. You've got a lovely, chunky, fresh, full of basil. And we've got that fresh lemon as well coming through. And I'm just going to prick my pizza or tart base, and this will just keep the inner part flat, where I'm going to put all my ingredients. So on with the pesto. You could of course buy a vegan pesto in the shop. Really easy to get hold of these days. Companies like Scala, is it, do lots of pestos. They do a good vegan pesto these days. They do a red pesto and a green pesto. So if you're not into making your own, really easy to get hold of. And like I say, this pesto is super versatile. Use it with pasta, on a sandwich, on a ciabatta with some vegan mozzarella. Delicious. And then on top of this, I'm going to add some cherry tomatoes, which I've just sliced up, and just layer it on. You could just do a nice random pattern here, but we'll keep it nice sort of lines like I'm going for. And then the final thing I'm going to add to this is some vegan cheese. So we do an entire course about vegan cheese. We also do a vegan baking course, and these are aimed more at sort of the more professional caterer, but for individuals as well. And on the cheese course, we'll show you how to play with textures and flavors and create really good fermented nut cheese. So it's really good. You can have a look on our website, find out more details about that. But if you want to buy cheese again, this is a really good one I found. Bio Life, and this is a cheddar. I'm just going to sprinkle all over the top. It's really, the flavour of this one is, I'm quite impressed with. Some vegan cheese isn't all that I found, but this one is good. So sprinkle all over the top. And then that goes into the oven, 200 degrees, for about 20 minutes. These are the pastry cases I put in earlier, so they're ready. You've seen how easy and quick they are to do. And then this is the tart that I made earlier. So you can see the edges all puffed up, the top is all crispy and cheesy, and it's slightly charred. Delicious. It smells amazing. Right, so one more recipe I want to show you is it's kind of a pate or a dip. Again, very versatile. You can have it with salads, and it's great on sandwiches and crackers and things like that, oat cakes. And it's so simple to make. Just use some cannellini beans. I think the recipe calls for borlotti beans, but I couldn't find any borlotti beans, so you could just use these, or any sort of white bean or a pinto bean. Works really well. And then some garlic. So depending on your palate, half a clove to a clove of garlic, because it's going to be raw, so we don't want it too strong. So I'm just going to use about 3/4 of a clove. And then I talked about our cheese making course earlier. This is some cheese that I made the other day, and it's a sort of cream cheese, and it's made using fermented cashew nuts and some probiotics and some nutritional yeast again, and a few other ingredients. If you want to find out more on how to do that, again, have a look at our website. So that goes in. And then I've got some fresh dill here, my favourite herb in the garden. It's super hardy, grows really well in this country. Unlike the basil I used earlier, which is very, very, very gentle and doesn't last too well. But dill is really hardy. Love the smell of it, and works really well in this dish. If you couldn't find fresh dill, you can use some dry dill. That's fine. So that just goes into my little food processor here. And then I'm going to pulse it. Until I've got this lovely thick pate. So like a lovely thick textured pate. You can smell the fresh dill, it smells incredible. And then, like I said, you could use this on sandwiches, again on jacket potatoes or something like that. And it will keep in the fridge for probably about a week. Pizza will freeze, the pasties will freeze as well, and the coronation chicken sauce will keep in the fridge again for a week, around a week as well. So that is pretty much it from me. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please go on our website, check out our publications. Like we were saying, you can download them for free, or you can order them to come via post. Yeah, we look forward to seeing you again soon at VegFest. Tim, back to you.
Thanks, Ollie. That was great. Well done. That was really interesting. I just love the way you produce these. Here's one I made earlier. And what a shame I'm not in your kitchen to just give that professional taste his opinion on your creations. But they look fantastic. And Pete and myself are both quite inspired by all of this, actually, to maybe, you know, have another day when we just devote to cooking and really go into some further aspects, because it is really exciting to watch some really professional catering demos. Well, thanks to you and to Alex and to all your team. This is, you know, a number of times we've worked with you, and who knows, maybe we'll come back to live events. It won't be this year, maybe in 2022, but the online aspects have really still got a lot of potential, especially with the cookery demos. They really, really bring them alive. So thank you for all the work you've done, especially in the care homes, because that really has been a big challenge. I know.